welcome to the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl podcast, a place for you to find the courage you need to take the first step and every step thereafter to create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. I'm your host, health and life coach, Abby Hegney. Let's dive in. Welcome back to episode 39. I am so excited for this episode today. I have been coaching a lot of my clients on this exact topic, and I have been leaning into it myself. And I can't wait for you to explore it too. So today we are going to be talking about pressure versus self-trust. But first, I would love for you to rate and review this podcast if you haven't already. I promise you, it only takes a minute and it would mean so much to me to have your feedback. I love getting your messages. I love hearing how you're taking each episode and the information and applying it to your lives. And I would love for you to leave that in a review. And if you do love this episode, please share it with a friend, share it with a coworker or a family member that you think may enjoy it as well. I would love to have the ear of more women so that they can also feel healthier and more confident and know that the change that they want to create in their lives is possible for them too. Okay, so that is my ask of you today. Now, let's dive in to pressure versus self-trust. I want you to think about the last time you set a goal for yourself, big or small. Maybe it was to start working out consistently or to lose some weight. Maybe it was to get to bed earlier or to finally just be able to take some amount of time for yourself. Most likely, you started out motivated, determined, focused on what it would be like if you actually did it. You could picture how good you were going to feel when you were working out consistently. You could see how proud you would feel to finally have made working out a part of your routine. How strong your body would feel because of the consistency that you were showing up for. You could picture how amazing it would feel to put on your favorite pair of jeans without the drop and stretch and sucking in that we often have to do to put on our jeans. You could see how refreshed you would be when you finally created that nighttime routine and were giving your body the sleep that you know it needs. Maybe you could picture how you would go about your day when you finally felt like you were taken care of. You could see yourself handling those challenging situations with your kids, the ones where you're running late and you've asked them 25 times to put on their shoes, only to hear that they can't find their shoes when you should have been out the door 5 minutes ago. You can see yourself handling those types of everyday situations with patience, finding calm among the chaos. But before you know it, that motivation starts to fade. You were doing so good, but you weren't seeing the results that you had hoped you would be seeing by that point. Maybe life got busier than you expected and you missed a couple of workouts, or the weight wasn't coming off as quickly as you had wanted. Maybe you were getting yourself into bed earlier, but you had a hard time falling asleep. Or maybe as soon as you started getting yourself to bed earlier, your kids decided that was the time that they were not going to be sleeping well. So even though you were getting to bed earlier, your sleep was still garbage. This is when your inner mean girl enters the room and the motivation that you once felt turns to pressure. You start to tell yourself things like, it's not working. I should be further along. I've got to get it together. I'm not doing enough. It may also show up in a form of all or nothing thinking or perfectionism, such as, I have to do this right, or I can't mess up. the pressure can feel so overwhelming, like you are carrying an invisible weight. You start feeling like you are just waiting for that other shoe to drop. When you put pressure on yourself to achieve a goal, when you tell yourself that what you are doing is not enough, that you should be further along, that it has to be perfect or it's not worth doing, or you believe that there is a right way to do it, what you are really saying is, I don't trust that I can do it, or I don't trust myself to keep going, to figure it out, to get there. I was recently coaching one of my clients on this exact thing. She wanted to get back into a regular exercise routine. She had been really inconsistent for quite a long time. She had gained weight that she did not enjoy carrying around, and she just wasn't feeling good about her body. She wanted to feel more confident. She wanted to feel healthier. She wanted to be able to play with her kids without getting winded. And more importantly, she wanted to show her kids that taking care of themselves is a privilege. She would push herself to get up and to do a workout, but every time she did, she felt really stressed about it. She would tell herself that it wasn't enough. If she couldn't work out for at least 45 minutes, she would tell herself, what's the point? And if she was able to find 45 minutes in her busy schedule, she would tell herself that she would never be able to keep it up. She was afraid that she would fail again. She second guessed every choice that she was making. She kept telling me, I just don't know if I can actually do this. She was focused on all of the things that she had tried in the past that hadn't worked, all of the times that she had put forth an effort and didn't succeed. She was focused on all of the things she thought she had to do and all of the time she thought she needed to be spending. It felt impossible because she thought that she needed more time than she had. She thought that she needed to do things that didn't feel good to her, that didn't actually work for her life or even for her time or her body. She was putting pressure on herself based on society's norms versus trusting that the time she had and what she was able to do was enough. Every decision that she made felt heavy. She was afraid of making the wrong decision. She was afraid that she would fall off track, that she'd fall behind. What I told her and what I hope that you take away from today is that there is no falling behind in your own life. It's your life to live. There is no right way. There is only the way that you make right for you, for your body, for your time, for the life that you are living right now, and the life that you want to live. If you trust yourself enough to find it, you will always find it. But you can't possibly find it when you think that there is a right way, when you believe that there is a certain routine or a certain way of eating or a certain amount of time in which you need to work out in order for it to be effective or even for it to be worth it. You can't possibly find the way that works for you when you are constantly looking to others and comparing their journey to yours. One of the greatest skills that you learn inside Confident Mind and Body is the skill of staying in your own lane, running your own race, living your own life. It starts with building trust in yourself that you can do it, that it's possible, that that what you can do today is enough, and that every step you take is moving you closer to where you want to be. When you don't fully trust yourself, every decision feels high stakes. Every setback feels like proof that you can't do it. And without fail, you will burn yourself out from trying so hard to get it right, to do the right thing, to make sure that you don't mess up. Or you'll completely freeze and you'll do nothing at all. I'm sure we can all relate to one or both of them. So, let's talk about what it actually means to trust yourself. Trusting yourself does not mean that you are perfect. It doesn't mean that you never miss a workout, that you never miss a day, that you never miss a week, or that you always make the quote unquote right choice. It means that no matter what happens, you believe in your ability to keep going and to figure it out. You let go of the arbitrary timelines you set for yourself. The 2 weeks you were going to give yourself to be more consistent, or the month you were going to give yourself to lose the weight. You give up those timelines and you give yourself time. It means that you stop seeing challenges as proof that you can't, and you start exploring how they are opportunities to show yourself that maybe you can. You stop comparing yourself to others in a way that has you believing that they have it easier, that they can do it, but you can't. And you start to see others as evidence of what is possible. When you trust yourself, the pressure that you once were putting on yourself starts to lift. Instead of thinking, but what if I fail? You remind yourself that you're figuring it out. Instead of doubting whether you can follow through, you know that even if you slip, even if you mess up, even if you quote unquote fall off track, you'll get right back to it because you trust yourself to do that. You trust yourself to pick it back up as soon as you can. And I know that it may feel hard to trust yourself, but only because you are thinking about how you have always done things. You're thinking of all of the times that you have started and stopped, all of the things that didn't work in the past, all of the times that you failed, all of the promises that you made to yourself that somewhere along the way you broke. You define yourself, even subconsciously, as someone who can't do it. You don't trust yourself because you don't know how you are going to do it. You don't trust yourself because there is so much unknown. You want to know that you can do it before you'll trust yourself to do it. But the only way that you will ever do it is to trust that you can do it. Trust is what carries you from point A to point B. It's what allows you to overcome all of the challenges that come your way, to keep going even when you don't feel motivated to do it. When you trust yourself to figure it out, to step into the unknown, and to know that you will find your way through it, you will create more space in your day. You will create more energy in your life. You will create motivation where motivation was nowhere to be found. And I want you to know that you are trusting yourself to figure it out and to find a way through more than you realize you are doing it. Even when you don't know the way, even when there is a lot of unknown. Think about it. Going off to college is a great example. None of us know what it's going to be like or how we are going to do it, but we trust that we will be able to navigate 4 years on our own, away from home. Most of us, for the first time, we trust that after 4 years, we will graduate. It's not always a smooth road, but we trust that we can handle the challenges that come with it. We trust that we can seek support when we need it, that we can keep showing up with the belief that we will get there. Becoming a mom is another example. All of the parenting books in the world cannot prepare you for the moment you find out you are expecting. And even more so, the moment that they let you walk out of the hospital, baby in tow, with no clue what you are doing or how you are going to do it. But you do it. And God knows parenting is the most challenging path that you will ever take. But you trust yourself to take it. You trust that you'll do a good job. Or some days, maybe you just trust that you're doing like an okay job. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you trust yourself to keep going, to keep showing up, to keep loving on your kids and making decisions that you believe are the best decisions, even when you have no way of knowing that. When you trust yourself to make decisions, you stop spending so much time in the gray. You stop letting a fear of failure hold you back. It doesn't mean that you're not scared. It just doesn't mean that you're scared. It just means that you're scared and you allow yourself to move forward. When you build trust in yourself to make decisions, to be faced with challenges and to see your way through them, and to keep yourself moving forward, you create more space, more energy, and more motivation in your day. I have seen this over and over again with my clients, and I have seen this for myself. We don't realize how much time we spend in the pressure, in the drama that we create in our minds until you see yourself through it. Start with the evidence that you already have that proves that you trust yourself. Maybe that's being a mom. Maybe you trust yourself to consistently get to work on time or to get the kids to practice or to the bus when they need to be there. Find all of the ways in which you already trust yourself. You want to use this as evidence that it is possible for you. Let go of the all or nothing thinking. Trust isn't built in extremes, it's built in consistency. If you miss a day or a week or you make a different choice, you haven't failed. You are a human and life doesn't always go as we planned. In fact, it rarely goes as we planned. One choice, one misstep, one fail along the way does not define you. It does not define your journey. Trust yourself to keep going, to pick it right back up, to make the next best decision for you. Think about, and this is a big one, y'all. Think about what you need to hear. Your inner mean girl is going to want to control the dialogue. She's going to tell you things like, I knew you couldn't do it. I can never stick with anything. I should be further along. I'm not motivated. I've already messed up, so what's the point? I have to start all over again. These are not the words that you need to hear, especially when you are doubting yourself. Catch your inner mean girl. Quiet her down and remember what you need to hear. Maybe that's, I want this. I'm figuring it out. I'm making progress. This is important to me. I'm capable. Imagine how different your life would feel if you could meet pressure with trust and reassurance. What if you knew that you could handle whatever came your way? What if you believed that no setback could stop you for very long? What if you didn't need pressure because you had trust? The most transformative change you can make in your life is not losing all of the weight that you want to lose or fitting into your favorite pair of jeans from years ago. It's not working out consistently 5 days a week or eating healthy 80 to 90% of the time. The most transformative change you can make in your life is going from I can't do it to I'm figuring it out. It's what keeps you going. It's how you build trust in yourself. It lessens the pressure. You build confidence in yourself and in making decisions that keep you moving forward. You become the woman who trusts herself. And when you trust yourself, you are unstoppable. When you trust yourself, you take giving up off of the table. You get out of your head and into action. You find balance among the busy and calm among the chaos. You stay in your lane and you create the most beautiful path for your life. That is what you create when you join Confident Mind and Body and you work with me for 6 months. And I invite you to do just that. Schedule your free consultation. The link is in the show summary. Trust yourself enough to do that. It is the only step that you have to do alone. I've got your back the rest of the way, every step of the way. But you've got to take that first step. It's time to let go of some of that pressure that you are feeling and to start trusting yourself to create the habits and the confidence and the life that you want and deserve. All right, my friends, I will talk to you next week. If you are ready to quiet your inner mean girl, I invite you to join me inside Confident Mind and Body, my private coaching program, where you will learn to quiet your inner mean girl and create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. Just visit wellnesswithabbyh.com and schedule a free consultation.